All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Welcome to the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray Crews, waiting on my co-host Dre to get into here. Welcome this morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Great time to be up here getting ready for the college football game. We go from 9 to 12 all the way up to the kickoff. It'll take you to the premiere of pregame shows of all college football here. Me and Dre Montez will be breaking it live here today on the show. So when we get back here, we just want to take a quick break real quick here, get everybody settled down. We're going to break you down all the way from Clemson, number 14 Clemson versus number 1 Georgia, all the way down to who knows what goes on in this show. We're going to get the college pick'em update scoreboard from week 0 and week 1 on Friday. We'll break it down. Who is leading? That's going to be the question. Who is leading after week 0 all the way down to on Friday right now? So we're picking the Saturday's game all the way down to next week's game, and we get week 2 in because week 2 starts on a Friday. So we go from Saturday to Friday, get you to all the breakdowns. We pick up 16 teams that we actually break down here on the College All Sports play on breakdown. So we're going to get everything on track here. Once we get my co-host in, we'll get everything on. But anyway, what do y'all think about college football so far? How many games did you watch week 0? Did you watch all of them? Yeah, why don't you comment here on the comments? Put the comments down low. What teams did you follow? What teams do you think was the big upsets? What team surprised you? We had a lot of games on that Thursday game. We'll talk about some of them games coming up here. So give my thoughts on my North Carolina Tar Heels debut and an update on Max Johnson. We'll get that a little bit here too. It's not very good news, but we'll get you on that here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. Dun, 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 dun.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Welcome back to the All Sports, All Plays Network on the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray Crews. Dre will be joining me here momentarily. So we're just getting things started here today on the show. We're going to bring up the you can see the rankings down below. This is the preseason updated rankings right now. The rankings usually updates after the following week 1, so we'll get you more updates on that. But this is what we have right now in the rankings. We have some big games going on this weekend. We got a lot of games going on this weekend. At 12 o'clock, I'll run down some schedules because I didn't have a chance to put all the schedules into the tickler here for you for Saturday, but we'll run them down real quick while we're waiting on Dre get in here momentarily. Number 14, Clemson at number 1, Georgia at 12 p.m. You can watch that on ABC or the ESPN Plus. That's good news for you if you got your mobile phones. You're out running around, get on the ESPN Plus. If you got the subscription, you can watch this game on your mobile phone while you're out and about. You know, if you want, your wife makes you go shopping, tell her to go shopping. You can sit in the mall and you can watch a game while you're walking around the mall and spending time with your wife at the same time. Yeah, there's a little hint there for that. Let's see here. We got number 8, Penn State at West Virginia. That's at 12 o'clock on Fox. Illinois State at number 25, Iowa. That's at 12 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. And don't forget Iowa's tradition on the fourth quarter. They stand up and wave at the Children's Hospital. I think that's the most very thing to do. I like that tradition there that Iowa has at for their fourth quarter. I think that's very class act by the university there. Virginia Tech at Vanderbilt at 12 p.m. That's on ESPN. UConn at Maryland at 12 p.m. That's on FS1. Austin P at Louisville, 12 p.m. ACC Network. Indiana State at Purdue, Big Ten Network. Kent State at Pittsburgh, 12 p.m. ESPNU. Bucknell at Navy at 12 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. And then you got Chattanooga at number 15, Tennessee. That's at 12:45 p.m. But you can get all that listed on the ESPN, stuff like that. So, further ado, we have a surprise visitor, always from St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, he's from St. Louis, Missouri. But don't be surprised you see a Florida team on him. I still don't get how he's a Gator fan that sits in St. Louis, but Dre is the only man that can pull this off. He is the man, the myth, the legend. He is from the Who's to Blame podcast. Hey, take a picture of that QR code right there. He's ready to get on here. We're gonna bring him on here. We're gonna add him on to the stage here. Mr. Dre Montez. Good morning, Dre.
Good morning, Ray. How we doing? Good, buddy. How we doing?
We're doing good, man. You got the Gator outfit. Now, explain to everybody, you sit in St. Louis, Missouri. How did you become a Gator fan?
Well, as a well-traveled Navy veteran, I ended up in the town of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I was first introduced to Radio Life. I happened to go to a football game, the Florida-Georgia game. And the way that Florida crowd came together, the team, the players, all of that just was beyond a call of duty. And I wasn't that far from Florida, living in Charlotte. And I got a chance to see him play a whole lot of my times there in Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's how I became a fan via Sports Talk Radio in Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's how I became a Florida football Gator fan right there, ladies. I'm sticking to it. Before then, I was Nebraska Cornhusker.
That's cool. Yeah, it can be better than that.
Even though we got the Mizzou football Tigers here, I was a Nebraska Cornhusker fan.
Oh, cool. So, I mean, we got this game going on. We got a lot of games going on this week. I know you are anticipating who is winning our pick'em after week 0 and the week 1 Friday game. So you ready for it? You sure? You want to know?
All right.
We're going to do the college pick'em score update between me and Dre. Dre, we know the past history. Dre gets off on a good start and then falters at the end. So, he's got that myth. He always says on the show. What he always says on the show is when it gets to October and November, things changes. And it's true. So far, it's been true. He gets that September roll, then that October, it starts changing. Probably after Halloween, it starts changing. So he puts his hackle on jackal, but here we go, Dre. After week 0, I got 21 wins, 4 losses. You got 22 wins, 3 losses. So you're leading right now.
Not bad. Bad first week, Dre. Bad first week.
Yeah, week 0, the first Thursday night game. Now the first game that on week 0, the Saturday, we went 2 for 2. We lost the first 2 games of that week, and we picked up Hawaii in the 8 o'clock game. We picked up
Yeah, that
2.
Hawaii game was something else.
And then Friday, right now, I got 27 wins. You got 4 losses. I got 4 losses. You got 28 wins, 3 losses. We both went 6-0 on Friday. So we both went 6-0 on Friday. So that's the
I
score
was
between
kind of
me and you
bragging
right
to
now.
somebody about this. I said, you know what? I think I'm undefeated today. I think
No.
I'm undefeated.
So we went undefeated on Friday. So if you took your bets that we said on Friday, you would have had a perfect parlay for all those games. All the games we picked on that day. We went 6-0 on that day. You know, that's the first time on this game when we do pick them, we actually went undefeated one day.
I'm sitting in the park gathering my thoughts during a storm yesterday here, a little brief storm. And I'm saying to myself, did I go 6-0? Just out of nowhere, it hit me, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. If I could only just
All
gotten
right,
over to
so
Illinois.
I haven't had a chance to do the graphics for that, but we will be doing graphics for that.
Okay.
We'll have graphics next time. A lot of stuff that I had a busy week, so I couldn't do. But next week, this right here, I did the Clemson one. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about Clemson, number 14 ranked Clemson versus number 1, Georgia on ABC, ESPN Plus. But that's gonna be the new graphic right there for our college pick'em right there. So I put you into Georgia. Don't ask me how that worked out for you,
That's
but
fine. That's fine. As long
you're
as
in
they
the
ACC, baby.
Georgia there.
As long as they the
But look,
SEC, don't matter.
Hey, look, if you look at some of the people, some of your fans, some of your buddies will look on here and they see you underneath Georgia. Hey, man, look at me. I'm underneath
Okay.
Clemson with a Carolina fan, so, you know.
Okay, they know how I bleed orange and blue on
I
both
played you
sides.
today, Dre.
Pro
I
and
played
con.
you today, man. Played you today. I put my Carolina shirt on today. Just for you.
It's our day, man. It's college football insanity. Insanity.
Yeah. So this game right here, number 14, Clemson, number 1, Georgia. Game times at 12 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. ESPN Plus, the ACC versus SEC. What is your take on this year's Clemson team and the Georgia team for this start of the season?
What I've learned the first week 0 and week 1 so far about last year. Teams need to let last year go. Let it go. What you didn't do last year, you cannot make up for in the first game of the year, no matter who you're playing. So attention coaches out there. Whatever happened last year, that game you lost or the committee didn't like you, let that go. It hasn't worked out for 2 teams that have done that have pulled that off, apparently, allegedly. But we witnessed this with our own eyes and vision here. So if they focus on moving forward, this could be a good matchup. But if Clemson comes in here and Dabo, we know how you feel about the transfer portal. We understand all that. We know your coaching predicate. We know what you are capable of doing. But the moment they bring up what Clemson used to be able to do, and this is a challenging time for the coaching staff here at Clemson, I'm done. I'm out the building. Let's keep the game where it is right now and move forward with what we know right now about both of these ball clubs. So with that being said, with both of these ball clubs, I don't feel as highly on Clemson in this matchup as I would. That doesn't mean I'm saying that Georgia's going to beat the hell out of them. I'm saying I wish Dabo would just take that narcissist behavior, tone it down a bit, and listen to what's happening around the world of college football. You're not always going to be right. He can take that approach. I could see a better situation for his team in this head-to-head matchup in this early season, which I think is good for both programs. It's great for college football with these 2 matchups this early in the year. But that's how I feel about Clemson. They can focus on now and moving forward rather than what happened last year and the year before. We're not that team no more. We're not that team anymore. We're not trying to redefine our identity as Clemson football. let's take it for what we are right now, coach and players, and let's go for it. They go with that. This could be a hell of a matchup. If the announcers and the interviewees and the sideline reporters keep worried about what happened last year and the year before, the past 2 years for Clemson, we're not going to move forward. We already know what Uga's bringing to the table. They are running back you. They're figuring out the quarterback position. As far as Clemson is concerned, that's my pregame on Clemson.
Yeah, if you look at it this way, and they said it very rapidly here, 70 miles separates both schools. So this pretty much could be a rivalry in the making if they play more times than in the thing. But to me, how do you see the quarterback Klubnik versus Beck? How do you see that matchup favoring today?
I want to see the maturation process. I want to see what did we learn from what we did not do, what we know we're good at. What's our money play we cannot give up on? What player relationship did we – I want to see what happened in the offseason. I don't want to get that total package in the first possession from both sides offensively. But throughout the game, there has to be a learning curve. And I know what everybody's looking for from Uga. We're looking for a repeat performance. I don't think you're going to get that because they're the big dog. They're the huntee right now. Everybody's coming after them based on what's going on down the road in Bama. So right now, the eye is on Uga. The eye is on them. Not necessarily at the QB position, but what they've been able to do with recruiting and put out there for is productivity at the running back position and the tight end position. Let's not forget the wide receivers they're capable of having on that field. If they can take advantage of that, I could see that being a big upside. On the side of Clemson, the eye has been on the quarterback position for the past 4 years there. So everybody's looking for when is that going to happen? When can you put up the numbers like sunshine and moving back and moving back and moving back? If they keep going backwards, how are we going to be able to move forward, coach? I'm not those quarterbacks who pass. Let me grow into what I can do. If you can coach me on that and get better from that, there we go. But not many coaches, they're stubborn. They want it their way. If they can't get it their way, who ready to listen to me? Get in here. Instead of utilizing this kid's skill set and his attributes that fit your offensive scheme. That's what I want to see from the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I believe in that same analogy you just said too, but I like to see the progression, what kind of step up did Klubnik do and what Beck has done in the offseason, what kind of parameters they built into this coming up season and stuff like that. But on the other hand is Georgia cannot slip up in this ball game, cannot overplay the matchup against Clemson because they got road games looming against number 5 Alabama, number 4 Texas, and number 6 Ole Miss. So that's an looming for Georgia. How do you fare that? Can Clemson put a challenge to Georgia right now, or is Georgia going to take this and that's All-American secondary to shut down Klubnik and hopefully make Clemson a one-dimensional team?
If they come out real stagnant, meaning Uga with the ball offensively, come out as we've seen with teams with the high expectations, their first offensive possession, they're going to go to the bag. They're going to go to what we know, pound the ball, tight end, deep ball, run the ball, QB, option, touchdown. Is that what we're looking for from Uga? We're looking for something a little bit more different. Do what works for you. And if Clemson can hit them in the mouth with a big play, a big hit, something to say, hey, we're not afraid of you. We're going to be here the whole afternoon with you as well. Or does Dabo say, hey, defense, just lay back. Let's see what they do with their first offensive possession, and let's coach the game from there. I've known coaches do that in the past. I don't know if that works for anybody anymore. And then on the other side, when Clemson gets the ball, what are they trying to do against that other defense? Are they going to try to hit them in the mouth with the big play, a trick play? We've seen it in week 0 and week 1 so far, a half one, week 0 and week half of week 1. If they can do that, it can be a game changer real early, but it can set the tone as well if you hit him in the mouth, but you must be consistent. But Uga, that first drive in the red zone, I really want to see what's going to happen. I want to see that.
Now, you made an interesting point when you brought up the tight end. Brock Byers is gone from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
That was his favorite target most of the season last year for back.
Yeah.
Who will take the step up in that place of Brock Byers here for this Georgia wide receiver core and tight end core?
See, I think it's going to be a team effort. They're going to look at the statistics that he brought to the table, the tight end position. You can divide that up between two players, a running back and a potential star tight end. You starting tight end right now. You can bring that out of both of them and put up those numbers that you're trying to get if you think that would be a difference maker. You can't replace that type of a player. You can't do that. So I'm thinking they could probably get those numbers. Let's say he's bringing 12, 162, and 1 tug to the game. You can divvy that up between 2 to 3 players and still get that offensive production if they're just looking for that. But as far as the talent and the performance, I think they have it all around them at the running back position for sure. And that wide receiving core, there's speed out there. But speed does not always equate to putting that speed to use at the right time. Just because you can run a 4.3 doesn't mean you can utilize that 4.3 in a football game. Now, if you can do that, okay, them the ones people talking about. I told you he was fast. Things of that nature. Put that speed, and that skill set to use to the house. A couple of tugs a game. But you can't replace a tight end like that. No. Unless that's a pedigree and you knew you had that.
Yeah, I understand that too. That's a unique thing there too. But you talking about running backs. We're going to test the Georgia deep running backs this right off the bat, because right now some of the things that have going on here, the Bulldogs could be shorthanded at running back with Trevor Etienne facing a possible suspension after an all-season arrest, and Roderick Robertson likely sidelined while he's recovered from toe surgery. So we are going to test that thing. So with those two guys out, how does the running back depth now switches to Georgia? Is it the running backs going to have? Is Clemson going to be favored at the running back position since they have these two people out, or is Georgia still got the running back?
I think Georgia still has the running back upper hand because I think they're projected with your ESPN top 50 players, top 150 players at the running back position. Georgia has the door for the next 4 years. So the people that are waiting for a situation to get some tick time, to get in there and show coach what I have, I think they're still fine. They just got what they call a Swiss Army knife back there at the running back position. They got 3 or 4 that are waiting to contribute to this ball club. Now, you can't replace what Etienne, far as his collegiate experience there has. But far as what they have in the chamber, so to speak, at the running back position, I think Uga is fine right there. I think they're fine. Even though what's going on with their 2-star running backs, I think they're fine.
Yeah, now we're talking about Georgia a little bit. Let's swap a little bit over to Clemson side real quick here. Clemson was down kind of last year, not to their standard. Is Clemson back to where they need to be since they're starting off ranking at number 14? They put them kind of low. Does Clemson? Do we see Clemson get back in that top 5 or the top 10 rankings this year?
See, that team, that Clemson team that was really good, really, really good. College football has changed a long time since that team, believe it or not. Transfer portal, NIL deals, everything has changed. The conference realignment, more playoff teams now. So that Clemson of old, I don't think it's even applicable anymore. It's impossible to get a new identity in one game. That a coach set the tone in spring practice, we definitely will see in the first half. What is the message that he set out? Are we following through? Are we executing? Who's held accountable? Let's go out here and do what we practice in the spring. Now, Clemson can do that. We got a good ball game. But if we keep thinking this could be the Deshaun Watts, the Lawrence Clemson team, this is not. This is a total different college football. It's an evolving game from a coaching aspect, and it's where the players are for as commitment to the program as well as the team and the coaching philosophy. That's where we're at right now. This is the buy-in program in college football. Everybody's in the buy-in situation. And everybody buys into it, you're going to get some W's. If they don't, it's going to be some head scratching going on the sideline of these programs that have these high expectations based on what the coach has done at the program, what that program has done, or the players that have come into the program based on the transfer portal. That's what everybody's looking at right now.
Yeah, I agree with you on that too. So we're getting this part right now. We talked a little bit more in depth of Clemson and Georgia in this ball game. We're getting ready to do our pick 'em for this game. So let's get this down to it, buddy. Who do you have in this football game today?
Well, as you all know, it's my squad, but my good homie, pal, friend, Calabasas Jackson Muhammad III, I call her Cassie. She's a huge UGA fan. It would be rude if I went against UGA, if I went against the SEC, period. So give me them dogs. Row, 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 row.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I think Georgia's going to take this one. I don't think Clemson has got the meat to play with Georgia right now. Georgia's the most talented football team, but last year they had a little bit of falter going down the stretch there. Took them out of the playoffs picture. So I think Georgia's going to be feeding off that right now during the offseason. They got the bone. They're trying to fetch it back to the national championship. So right now they're chasing that bone. And I think they snagged that bone today against Clemson. So that's why I'm going with Georgia. So on that.
Here's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see Dabo Swinney get embarrassed and saying, hey, if you only believed in the transfer portal, this blowout shutout wouldn't have happened. I don't want him discontinuing conversations with the media. Let's say UGA goes in here and whacks that ass and put up 49 points to 0. It could be like a Hal McCray situation in that locker room. It could be some furniture moving. If UGA embarrasses Clemson, I'm talking a huge shutout. Huge shutout. I'm talking he done pulled the starters in the third quarter with 5 minutes remaining, that being UGA. There's going to be some furniture moving. Dabo Swinney hat and hair would be a meme if that happens. Mark my words. Mark my words. But I don't want to see a shutout. I don't want to see nobody to say, told you so. I don't want no Georgia Tech, Florida State situation, okay? I don't want no TCU situation, okay? Keep it forward, people. We know what Dabo said. I don't want not one reporter to say, so Dabo, how do you feel about the transfer portal? Get out.
Oh, man. That's cruel, dude.
If there's a shutout, I'm telling you, if they get blanked in an embarrassing way, now 13-0, 17-0, good defensive game. But they put up 49 points.
Yeah. All right, our next game, I don't have the graphics for it. Like I said, the graphics will be debuting next week. I'm going to be working on a lot of stuff. Since my time has been cut back, since I'm starting to work at church a little bit more, Uber is slowing down. So I'll have more time to build graphics at night than Ubering most of the times. That's why the graphics this time has been a little bit different. So, but anyway, we're going to go to Morgantown, West Virginia, where your cousins date your cousins, where your uncle dates your nieces.
Don't knock it till you try it, boy.
When incest is big state, West Virginia is known for that. That's a little typical humor I like to give to West Virginia. But we're going to be serious. We're going to go to Morgantown here at 12 p.m. on August 31st, which is today, Morgantown, West Virginia. Penn State, number 8, goes to West Virginia to the home opener of the Mountaineers. So, what is your take on this year's Penn State team?
I haven't bought into the gossip yet, but there's something going on with James Franklin. I don't want to read into the rumors. I don't want to click on the wrong article and buy into something that's not true. I'm still waiting on my groundhogs to let me know what's actually going on with that coaching staff. Because if there's a coaching problem in collegiate football at that high level, a D1 school, in a school like Penn State, that means the players are not buying in. And if you don't have the players, they're not going to put out a good football performance and make you look good. It's going to make you look what, kids? Bad. So I'm still trying to figure out what's going on there. What I did not know and what I did find out in that county that school is in, West Virginia, in Morgantown, they canceled school for kindergarten through 12th grade on Friday because of the football game. So these kids got a 5-day weekend because there's no school Monday, Memorial Day, for a college football game. That's impactful right there. That's
it's Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend going into Monday, so schools are out on Monday all throughout the United States.
So you are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, that's a good call there.
Weekend. Wow.
Quarterback Drew Eller was great in his Penn State debut a year ago against West Virginia. The rest of the season was a bit disappointing. How does Penn State quarterback Drew Eller get back on track, trying to draw what his talent is? And he didn't play to that level after that West Virginia game. So you said about Franklin, something going on with him.
Yeah.
But, Franklin went from built Vanderbilt back up to a certain point, then went to Penn State. His stellar at Penn State and what he did at Vanderbilt is totally different. But can James Franklin really get back to the level that he was at when he was at Vanderbilt at the time of trying to make that, when they made that into a winning program?
So a school like Penn State, I think the higher ups, the trustees, the committee, the people that look down on athletic programs that never played, but they're very influential in you keeping a job or you getting fired. I think Penn State has only one objective: to be possibly 4 schools out there every year, no matter what, and make it to a bowl game. I don't think national championship has been in their mind sight for a long time. I don't think they're there yet. And if the problem right now is between the coach and the quarterback, we need a mediator. You got to figure that out. You cannot have an issue with the head coach and the quarterbacks that's supposed to be the star. See, something's going on right there. He must be changing the plays in the huddle or just not executing to the well of the coach's satisfaction. And maybe words that coach said got back to the quarterback, or maybe the quarterback said something, got back to the coach. Either way, at this level in this type of game, you need to be on the right page. So the expectation at the quarterback position, if you can duplicate your finest year at a certain position, but don't have any change in progression in the win-loss column, what are we talking about? We don't care about you doing better. How about the team as one? If you're in here for individual statistical love and I guess high fives, you need to lead this program.
Yeah.
You're the quarterback. You're supposed to make everybody better around you.
Yeah, it's an interesting point that you had to here, but let me read a quote from Ellard himself. This is according to what he said to ESPN. The quote is, I think the biggest thing for us is learning how to bounce back from when things don't go our way, because we're going to have a bad play, a bad series, but you can't have a bad quarter and halves. And I think we're doing a really good job of that right now as an offense of just bouncing back faster. So, what do you think about on that quote right there from Eller? Do you agree with him?
Every coach tells us that. You're going to make a mistake, but don't let another mistake get you down. Get over that one. Those are obstacles of life. Yes, the in-game adjustments can happen. That's what all those cameras and all that film footage, everything, all this technology to help you make in-game adjustments. We got you, coach. Halftime, you're supposed to learn what you did wrong or did right in the first half, and what can we do in the second half to perpetuate this movement for a W? What can we do? That's what all that's for. So you're checking all the right boxes, but what we going to do when it come to game time with all this information that we have now? That's what hurts to me. When we see games, we know with the eye test what's going on as couch potatoes, armchair quarterbacks. I get all of that. But if we see the mistakes, then they come out in the second half, they're doing the same thing, it makes you question a whole lot. Who's running the asylum over there? Why isn't coach doing his job? Why aren't the right play? Why aren't the players listening? Why aren't more coaches throwing their headset down when it gets to a situation like that to me?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it too. They do have some big weapons. One of the big weapons is Tyler Warren, the tight end, who is 6'6", 261 pounds, senior. So they need to get him more involved into that. But you got to look at on the other hand, you got to look at the defensive. West Virginia's strength on offense is his running game. The Mountaineers were third in the Bulls subdivision at 229 rushing yards per game, with a split carry quarterback in Garrett Green and running back Jahan White and C.J. Donaldson, all on the backs this season. So, I mean, if you look at that running game, now you got to think about Penn State's defense. Penn State defense likes to get after the quarterback. So now you mix in with some running backs. So now the discipline of the defensive ends got to be very eye-catching, because they run that run option type deal. So
Right.
if you get it crashing in, trying to get the quarterback all the time, you're going to bounce one big play on the outside. You don't have no help, because they're running the corners with the other corner. So how does Penn State counteract the West Virginia's offense and their run game?
Oh, man, it's going to be a hostile environment since they're playing up in the WV. Shout out to my man, Major Harris. He's right there, my man. Great Mountaineer back in the Dizzy. All right. What can Penn State possibly do? Now they're going to understand what people go to a whiteout party. Now they're going to understand this here from the kiss your sister type of crowd. Now they're going to see how can they control the game, because they're already down 5 points with this crowd. They're already down to me. They're already down 5 points. I think what he did at Vandy, and what statement he made in the beginning stage of him getting to Penn State, I can do some magical things with a quarterback that can fit into the offensive scheme I'm trying to bring here to Penn State. So I'm thinking maybe I'm trying to look a little bit more into this relationship with the coach and the quarterback. My bad. But as a divorced man 4 times, I can see a problem in a relationship a mile away. You can't go into this game saying, hey, I'm going to beat this team with this play. It's going to have to be a complete game plan, and you got to stick to the game plan. But as you made a point in that quote, mistakes happen. They're going to be bad plays, bad reads. But when you go to the sideline, let's figure out right there why we didn't understand that read, why you didn't see that coverage. We get to that and learn from those mistakes right away. Those are game-changing factors right there that can change a wasted 9-play possession into putting points on the board 9-play possession. That's how the difference is in understanding the mistakes of an in-game situation and having those in-game adjustments with all the technology that we have today to help the game and the players do better. That's what I'm saying with Penn State. Don't go in this trying to think I can beat them with these 3 or 4 plays. You need a game plan to go into an environment like this and with a team such as WV.
Yeah, I got that point too, but West Virginia's got a wide receiver named Day Farmer. What a name, Day Farmer. He earned high accolades from Coach. He earned high accolades from Coach Neil Brown, who says the freshman is elite with the ball in his hand. So we've got to figure out ways how to use him. So my question to you is, how do you use this great name of Day Farmer, who is supposed to be the best wide receiver on the team, and he is a freshman? How do they find ways to get the ball in his hands today?
You know, they're going to try to make the freshman prove himself. They're going to be that one play. They're going to be that cutback. I've been loving seeing these cutbacks and these receivers with this speed right now. That cutback is that foot planting, and he gone. Now, if you got hands and speed and you can put that together, them dubs all day. Them tugs all day. That may be, if he get 2 today, that's big name on campus respect whole Labor Day weekend. He getting barbecued a whole weekend up to Wednesday probably, if that can happen. But I'm not going to put too much into a freshman right now in a game this big, this early in the year. But I do like that name.
Yeah. So we're getting to the point now. Who are you taking in this ball game? Number 8, Penn State versus West Virginia. We're talking about this is at 12 p.m. on Fox. Who are you taking in this ball game today?
Man, with the hype.
Are you taking the West Virginia incest side?
Huh?
Are you taking the incest? You taking the West Virginia, the culture of your cousin sleeping with your cousins and your uncle sleeping with your nieces and stuff like that? Are you taking that side? Are you favoring the Amish side of the Penn State? You know, getting that fresh bread and all that stuff with the Amish people do up there in Pennsylvania.
Mother, sister, and brother, father. I'm with this hype. The way I got into Florida, the way the WV is looking, shout out again to Mike Harris and my dude Mike Fox back in the day. They're great alumni there. This crowd in West Virginia and Morganton is on a whole new level to me. I mean, I'm with this. I'm with what they're doing there. I understand what the program has been through, the missed opportunities that we had. But I'm going with West Virginia in this one. I don't know if this would be a quote-unquote upset, but I'm going with the WV in this one. I haven't seen enough of consistency from the Nittany Lions. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's true.
I need to see a little bit more legs. Show me some thigh. Put some on.
Let's shift off going from West Virginia down to the cornfield, to the back, Garden State of Iowa and Ames, Iowa, with the tradition they have there on the fourth quarter waving at the Children's Hospital. I think that's one of the respectable college tradition, like others. Heart goes out to the people up in the hospital. The kids' hospital is just really, what can I say? It's like really hard to me because you see families struggling with the kids with cancers,
right?
And you don't want to see that going through all the kids and stuff like that. But things happen.
Take them away from what's going on when it happens,
right? So, but Illinois State now goes into Ames, Iowa at the Kinnick Stadium. Weather is going to be fine there. It's going to be 69 degrees.
Virginia, Penn State. Who'd you pick?
Well, I picked Penn State.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I got Penn State. I'm going the opposite direction. I like the bread. I like the fresh bread. So I'm going with the Amish country. Got to respect the Amish. I've been to Lancaster.
I think you like their vehicles, the original electric vehicle.
I actually Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We went there. We went actually to the Amish village. Been there before, so where they make their own butter, bread, and everything else is actually pretty good. So let's switch it a little bit here. Illinois State, number 25. Iowa comes in ranked at number 25. We know Iowa plays defense. The offense is not as spectacular. This is going to be a run, old style type football game for Iowa. How does Illinois State speed up Iowa in this ball game to try to get an upset victory here? It's going to be 69 degrees there today at 12 o'clock, so which is 11 o'clock their time. But so how do you look at this game, this contrasted game? This could be because Illinois is like they like to speed it up a little bit. They like to be a little fast tempo. Now Iowa's defense can dictate what they're doing. If Iowa can shut down certain aspects, making them one-dimensional, then this game could switch to another thing. Does Iowa have any offense this year to put up what their defense is doing?
See, that's the thing about Iowa. They kind of start out showing us one way to go at it offensively for 2 games. Then they show us another program for 2 games. Then they go into a bye. And that's when things change to me. I don't know who they're trying to be offensively. What type of offense is working for them? I think that's what's impressive about that. It changes game to game with them. I think they're figuring it out based on who they're playing against. It's never going to be the same team offensively or defensively each and every week. And that's what I love about that program. But that's what I also hate about them because after Halloween, after November, only October, that's when football gets serious to me. And by then, they're confused on their identity they're trying to be and what they're trying to present to the opponent. Now, if Iowa come out here playing Iowa football, I could see them putting up a shutout. But the speed and the pace of the game could affect the tempo for Iowa as well. So I think the first half is going to really dictate this game based on, I guess, who's in shape.
Well, yeah, if you look at this right now, I don't know if you ever heard of a movie called Billy Jack, a movie back in 1971 called Billy Jack.
Heck yeah.
Okay, here we go. The Redbirds Illinois State head coach Brock Speck quoted this from Billy Jack, the movie. I'm gonna read it to you. Here we go.
Okay.
That's what Speck said. Billy Jack says, "You know what? I'm going to put my right foot down on the side of your face. There's nothing you can do about it." He went on and said that Iowa football, they're going to try to run that outside sprint, inside zone. They're going to say there's nothing you can do about it. Now you see what I'm talking about right there. So that was the exact quote from the movie. Billy Jack, now he references the Iowa's outside sprint, inside zone. How does Illinois, they talk about it, they had plenty of time to figure this out. What kind of defense they going to put on against that to try to shut down both of those inside and outside?
I like that right there, man. That's a speech right there that can motivate a defense. That can motivate a defense. If I'm just talking to my defense and that's what the coach said, everybody leg and arm shaking to go out and hit somebody, to get at somebody. I'm spreading that thing out and show me the speed. Show me the speed. Let's spread this thing out. Let's show them the speed that we have on defense. Let's challenge them. I like that, coach. I like that.
Okay. You like that? This is another one for Iowa. They went out and hired Lester in January. Spent last season as a senior analyst for Green Bay Packers. The offense may feature more motion, perhaps some run-pass option for quarterback Chad McNamara, who used to be at Michigan, but nothing too flashy. So now you see the concept. They're trying to change over a little bit of their offense, add a little bit of motion, try to something that Illinois State has not seen on tape. And then since they hired Lester from the Green Bay Packers, do you see some of the influence of Green Bay Packers offense coming to Ames, Iowa with this hire?
No, because I don't think nobody coming from the NFL could bring a play that could shock the college football program. It's vice versa. The pros are taking more from beneath them, high school level and collegiate level, to implement in their playbook. They going to what the kids are doing, even video game systems. So no, I don't think, especially in college football today, maybe 10 years ago, that'd have been a big ordeal. But now, no, because each program, especially the high expectation programs, have these special videographers that can break down everything possible for you to put together as a film piece, a game plan. So I don't think that could be a big ordeal. I mean, it sounds good on paper, really does, but what we gonna do about it, coach? Just like my best friend telling me he dating a former NFL player girlfriend. I don't know what that means. I mean, it sounds good on paper, but what does that really mean? I need to see more out of that story.
Yeah,
it works. Somebody come from the Green Bay Packers to your football program, how it's implemented and moving, get more W's for you, put you in that playoff picture. Yeah. Now, if it equals that, okay. But if it doesn't, what we talking about it for, Coach?
Yeah, if you look at this too, Wallace will be in charge due to the fact that the head coach for Iowa, Kirk Ferentz, will serve a self-imposed one-game suspension along with wide receiver coach John Brumer for committing a recruiting violation. Will that hurt Iowa today? Not having a head coach and their wide receiver coach.
When you're a coach of that stature of Mr. Ferentz, I mean, his word speaks volumes. Even if he's not there in practice, I bet those kids run practice as though coach was there. Now, if he was some young coach, okay, the inmates would be running the asylum. But the way he coaches, his style, his tenure, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine.
All right, so Chaz, this is another thing about McNamara, who's coming off a torn ACL in his left knee. And so his fifth game last year made it to the week with no health problems. He went on and quoted this according to ESPN. He said this quote, McNamara, I've gotten over it. My leg is not injured. There's no injuries. There's nothing. This is the best my body has felt. I'm fully confident of that. So now when him talking about that, putting his mindset, will the ACL come back? You know how players will see the first few plays, that mindset of the ACL tear. Does he play cautious the first couple of times and then get his feet under him and probably take over this game maybe in the second or third quarter?
I mean, that was the most typical response by an athlete coming off an injury like that. So I don't think he even said that. That's just a generic response when you're coming back from an injury like that. Yeah, it's called it all how that mind is working. When they say you come back from a significant injury, your rehab is not just on the injury itself. How's your mindset? Because you're reliving that play over and over and over again. The play you get injured on, you got to get past that hump. That is the most mind-blowing, realistic shit an athlete can tell you, is overcoming a crucial injury that stopped gameplay for them and getting back on the field and moving forward. So, yeah, the mental makeup is going to come to the forefront for him, probably the first two possessions, especially if there's a play near that leg. We'll be able to tell by a hesitation, a slight move. And if that happens, that's when the coaching really comes to coach. You got to go right to that kid and talk to the kid. Hey, let's clear the body. Let's clear the head. Let's start over. You got to regroup right there. And it's easy to say when you're yelling at the TV, when you're talking to the kid, but when you're the actual individual that has to go through it, you got to go to all your happy spots right there to get over the hump. If he can do that, good things.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But now, will the two quarterback system that Illinois State Spec said before the preseason that he likely have a two quarterback system, the 2023 backup Tommy Rittenhouse and Kansas State transferred Jake Rubley? How does the two quarterback system work in this ball game for Illinois State? Because Iowa cannot concentrate on one guy. They got to prepare for two different guys. So
That's
I
what you
just got to
said.
take advantage now for Iowa State, for Illinois State. So
I like the 2 quarterback system if everybody is on board. We're not going into this game talking to these guys in separate corners like they're in an in-game boxing match amongst themselves and they're supposed to be teammates. No, we're talking to you both at the same damn time as you're one. Now, if they're under that understanding, I love when the 2 quarterback system can work. But if you're using this as a challenging tryout in front of the nation, shame on you. Shame on you.
yeah, if you look at Illinois State, Spain took this program over in 2009. The last time they played against a Big Ten opponent was Northwestern. They won 9-7 in 2016. They also knocked off Colorado State in 2018, Eastern Michigan in 2012. Iowa will pay Illinois State to travel there. $650,000 guaranteed money for Illinois State, which is a good, heavily old money. I wish I had that kind of money coming in, but
It's Tony Romo, you.
So, who do you take in this ball game today?
Give me Iowa.
Yeah, I'm taking Iowa with you on that one. We're going to take a quick break real quick. We'll be back on the All Sports All Plays Network on the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. I'm Ray. This is Dre. We'll be back in momentarily.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown on the All Sports All Plays Network. I am Ray Crews, and I'm bringing Dre back on here. We're back here. We're going to do our rapid fire and college pick'em right now. So we already did Illinois State. We're going to recap real quick. We both took Georgia. You took West Virginia. I took Penn State. We both took Iowa. Now, Virginia Tech versus Vanderbilt. Who you got in that ball game? This is played in Vanderbilt.
The Vandy football program. Who they playing one more time?
Virginia Tech.
Give me Vitek all day. Give me them Hokies.
We won't be hearing Sandman in this one, but because they're playing at Vanderbilt. But I think Sandman is going to come with them. So Virginia Tech, I got on that one. UConn at Maryland. The Fighting Terps against the Huskies.
What's a terrapin, mommy? I don't know. Fear the turtle. Give me Maryland.
Yeah, I'm taking Maryland. Also, Austin Peay versus Louisville.
Woo, Louisville.
Yep, I'm taking Louisville too on that one. Indiana State at Purdue.
What's a Boilermaker, mommy? A hard-working man, boy. Give me the Boilermakers.
Boilermakers all day long in that one. Kent State goes into Pittsburgh and used to be called Heinz Field. They don't play in a college stadium, they play in the NFL stadium, but it won't be packed like an NFL stadium. Pittsburgh still a game type game. Does Kent State go in there and beat Pittsburgh?
No, man, I like that Pitt program. I watched the documentary on that Pitt program, and yes, they do play the NFL stadium. Yeah, give me Pitt all day. Give me Pitt.
All right, Bucknell goes into the Naval Academy in Indianapolis, and Marine Corps, whatever the stadium is, because they named it Navy Marine Corps Alumni Stadium. I guess that's what it's called. So let me make sure. Let me verify that real quick because they keep changing the name for that. They keep changing the name on that stadium.
What the Bucknell? Give me my Navy. Go Navy.
Yeah, go Navy, man. They're gonna send the torpedoes out today. Chattanooga at number 15, Tennessee. You can find that game at 12:45 on the SEC network. Odd time, but 12:45
Give me Tennessee. Volunteer.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee. You taking Tennessee?
Yes.
All right. South Dakota State at number 17, Oklahoma State at 2 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Who you got?
Woo! Deep in the heart of Oklahoma State.
I'm taking Oklahoma State on that one too. But South Dakota might have a good team for the lower level, but they could give them a run for their money. But Towson at Cincinnati at 2:30 on ESPN Plus. Who do you got?
Give me the Natty.
Taking Cincinnati also all day long. Portland State at Washington State at 3 o'clock p.m. on the CW Network.
Portland State at Washington State. Give me Washington State. I've got to check out this CW broadcast too. I got to see who these folks are.
Yeah. I'm taking Washington State also. Akron at number 2, Ohio State at 3:30 on CBS.
Give me the Ohio State University. My little homie D. That's her team. Shout out to D.
I'm gonna take them too. Colorado State invades number 4 Texas at 3:30, where Texas made their debut as an SEC team this year on ESPN. Who you got?
Give me Texas, man. I'm just excited to see this, man.
All right, we're gonna break down the next game here. Number 19 Miami invades Griffin Stadium in Gainesville, Florida, at the University of Florida. Florida comes in not ranked at 3:30 ABC. What is your take on this year's Florida Gator team?
I think we need to. I've never wanted violence to be a part of the game, but I think we should fight as soon as the damn game starts. Just fight. This melee. Let's get this over with. The past 2 years, I'm tired of the Canes. I'm tired of their fans. I'm tired of the memes. I don't know who this Florida Football Gator program is. We're never going to be that 1-5, that number 15. Not Anthony Richardson, talking about Tebow. Those days and years and decades of totally different football program. The players are smaller. The attitude is different. I don't know what the coaching philosophy is, but I'm liking what I've saw in spring practice. I'm liking the early reports about Florida, offensively speaking. My expectations for this game, let's come out and hit them in their damn mouth right away, early and hard. That's what she said. Let's get it over with.
What do you think about the quarterback?
Comfort in this game.
What do you think about the quarterback matchup in Cam Ward for Miami and Graham Mertz for Florida? How you fare these two competitions going out today?
See, Miami's riding on a high the past 2 seasons. Let's not sugarcoat this any other way. The expectations for that football program exceeded itself last year. Foot in mouth. They got a little cocky beating Florida State. They got a little cocky beating Florida. What does that mean? If those are your only 2 wins and you don't go to a bowl game on the playoff picture, why are we here, Daddy? Why are you wasting my money, son? Let's get to that point. I'm liking the quarterback out of Miami, but I understand what Florida did in the spring game. In the offseason, I'm liking the added muscle, the added maturation to the game, and the understanding of the commitment and what it takes to be a quarterback at the collegiate level, especially at Florida. When you take it that serious and understand, it's more than just what you've seen in a Netflix documentary. It's more to that than being a quarterback at Florida. Learn the position, and I finally think he's there. So I'm liking the upside on that side of it.
Yeah. Now, which coach is on the hot seat more? Is it Mario Cristobal or Billy Napier?
Billy Napier. I'm talking that seat so hot he can't sit down at all. Not even in your office. He got heated seats everywhere. And we're going to turn that damn thing up. You're being judged and scrutinized on everything you do. If the crease is not in the khakis, I'm checking that on the box. If the visor's not right and the hair proportion is wrong, I'm checking that on the box. I want to see verbal confrontation going on. I want to see communication factor. You putting your hand over the mic and yelling at the son of a bitch. I want to see that. That's how highly he is up under the microscope right now. Your job is in jeopardy. Tell your kids don't get comfortable at that school. Honey, don't get comfortable with our landscaping service. Things could change in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, I look at this too. I've seen a quote here, going through my notes here. I've seen a quote when he was talking to an ESPN reporter. And I'm going to read you Billy Napier's quote here. And now we'll get your reaction after this. For me, it's about our players. It's about the staff. That's cool things about football. I can remember growing up as a son of a high school coach when the season's over and the playoffs are finished. The state championship holds the trophy up. We're going back to 0-0. He also stated that there's a new team in the weight room on the practice field. Then you have to same ambition, same goals. The game is started of the story of the 2024 Gators. So, what is your reaction on the quote of Billy Napier I just read?
He didn't write that either. That was some generic bullshit. We're going to start 0-0. Doesn't everybody say that? I want you to yell. I want to see tears of sweat. I want to see a commit. Show me that inner child in you that grew up as a Gator fan. Prove that to me. Bring that out in your coaching. Bring that out in your speech to the team. Until then, it's just nonsense. You just another dude dating my mama. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't mean nothing to me. Nothing.
And this is something that you want. This is something you got to pay attention to. Billy Napier is 11-14 so far in Gainesville, including a 1-8 against rival Florida State, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, and 0-2 against longtime league doormat Kentucky. His tenure has been rifled with the function range from clock management mistakes to basic fundamentals like having 11 men on the field for every play. The Gators have dropped 5 in a row to end the 2023 season and missed a bowl game for the third time since 1990. Napier's response by layering nearly every aspect of this program. So he hired a new defensive coordinator, a new special team coach, a new strength conditioning coach, added a co-offensive coordinator, even replaced the team nutrition. He also turned to the transfer portal to add more playmakers around Mertz and rebuild a defense that was among the worst of the Southern Eastern Conference in 2023. So now, from all that take, he changed everything. The only person that didn't change almost was Billy Napier himself. So with the changes of this right now, are you seeing a little bit of a turnaround in spring practice to what you've seen a year ago?
It's like me out here in the dating world. The expectations are high. But let's get to the realization of the situation here. You can only be you. And I need Florida to be them. Yeah, it sounds good getting a strength and conditioning coach because we were tired, gassed. I don't know if it was that new oxygen drug everybody on in the Southeast region, too much partying. I don't know if they're trying to live up the hype to the documentary, but that was a problem that needs to be addressed. You should not be tired in the first quarter. I don't give a damn who you are. And I saw fatigue at a high level. The miscommunication on the defense, special teams, thank you for going to what the problem is. But a lot of issues on a lot of football teams, to me, programs, is the big C word, communication. Somebody lied to somebody. Somebody don't respect somebody. Let's get it out on the table right here. That's what all these coaching rooms are for. You don't have to utilize all these cameras and microphones. Go back to the old style. Close the door, and let's get it out here on the table. That's what a lot of programs are going through. Everybody wants to be the man. It's okay to listen. It's okay to learn. You don't know every damn thing. And when you figure that out, that's the learning curve in coaching and as being an athlete right there. That's the key to victory right there. Communicate. That's the key to relationships. Communicate. That's the key to marriage. Communication. It's not that other bullshit. Keep it to the purest thing ever. Coach, you're responsible for what goes on. You've hired these people. Make sure they do their job. Let's go ahead and execute. Let's go. Can it be fixed?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, no.
I agree with you one time there, and now I'm going to turn to the other side here. Cristobal for Miami head coach is 12-13 at his alma mater. Like Napier, he turned to the transfer portal and for landing Ward from Washington State, running back Damian Martinez from Oregon State, and receiver Sam Brown from Houston. The trio, along with one of the best defensive fronts in the league, could make the Canes counter again. But there's might not be a better opportunity to showcase all this anticipated improvement than in the swamp and aim the renewal of once a hated rivalry. So, do you want the heated rivalry to come back? You want the punch in the mouth fight? You want the fight coming out when the team comes out of the freaking tunnel? You want that kind of thing right at the beginning of this football game? Is that what you're talking about?
Gainesville and Coral Gables are not the same today. We're not the same. Give a damn if we both from FLA. No. And then here's the thing about the transfer portal. Transfer portal is like people that get into these overnight relationships. You're not getting nobody that's want to be in a relationship. You get somebody just somewhere to lay their head. Stop getting these players that just going somewhere just to take advantage of the program, fill a spot. They're not there for the commitment. They're not there for that phrase on the wall. They're not there for that. They're there for their own self. And when you figure that out, get rid of them right away. Not everybody is for the program just because you found them in a transfer portal. They're trying to find somewhere to go. And if they don't fit the program, why are you here, son? That's one thing about the transfer portal I don't like, because you got these players, these guys out here just getting into a program just to get in the program.
Now, if you look at this thing here, these are some interesting tidbits I'm about to give you right now. Teammates reunited. The matchup includes two starters from last year's national game. Miami safety Bashir Power and Florida safety Asa Turner were teammates at Washington for 5 years before landing in the Sunshine State. Any trash talk going on with them? Turner said just a little bit. It's going to be a good experience. Now, this is another one for Florida, too. I'm going to get your take on both of these real quick here. The streak at stake for Florida has won 33 consecutive home overs, an NCAA leading streak that started after losing to Ole Miss in 1989. It's been on mostly cupcakes since, although Oklahoma State in 1990, Kentucky in 1992, number 23 Tennessee in 2017, Ole Miss in 2020, and number 7 Utah in 2022 are on the list. So the stake is in jeopardy right now for Miami. Does Florida keep the streak going? And what do you think about the two teammates from last year's Washington team now on the rivalry teams in the Sunshine State?
Well, I'm quite sure they're with each other in practice when they were in Washington. So the trash talking, I mean, that's just a part of the game. As a former trash talker, the one that put it out there and can take it, I can dish it out both sides. Boom, boom. That's what she said. And as far as the streak, hey, I'm all about streaking. You know, I streak in a minute. We're going streaking through the quad. I like it, but I don't want to overemphasize that as that being a let's put our foot in the ground. This is what us make us Florida by keeping the streak alive. No. I want to go out here and beat the shit out of them. I want to put a donut on them. I don't mind a 58 nut. Shit talking. I want the cheerleaders talking shit. I want mascara running today. That's my thing. Let that mascara run. Show me the woman that does not have on waterproof mascara this weekend at a college football game. That's what I want to see. And then plus that fight at the beginning of the game. Yeah, I don't like violence. But as soon as we come out the tunnel, we running straight to them. Let's get it over.
This game's at 3:30 on the ABC. Does Florida keep the 33-game consecutive home opener live, or do they lose it today?
What's that? Okay. The streak is alive. The streak is alive. The streak is alive.
You're taking Florida. I'm taking Miami. I think the streak is gone.
After the day. All day. Is this thing on? Who am I taking? What? Who am I? You hear that, Martin Truitt? You hear that?
Hey, one of us got to win and lose, you know. So, let's get back to the rapid fire here. We have over 66 games today on this Saturday opener on week 1. Florida International at Indiana. at 3:30 on the Big Ten Network. Who you got?
Who's your daddy? Give them Hoosiers, baby.
Taking the Hoosiers. I'm gonna take the Hoosiers with you on that one. UTEP at Nebraska. Who you got? At 3:30. This is on Fox.
Man, UTEP is something else. They have impressed me in the month of November in bowl games, their matchups who they play. They don't give up when they have speed. Oh, man. I don't know where this Nebraska football program is at. They used to be called the Black Shirts in the days of time I was born. It's just this used to be my squad before Florida. It's so hard. That's what she said. Let me go ahead and take Nebraska in this one.
I'm taking Nebraska also in this one. Eastern Michigan at Massachusetts, UMass. This game's at 3:30 on ESPN Plus. Who you got?
Man.
You taking a Minuteman? You there, Dre?
Yep, taking a minute, man.
You're taking a Minuteman? You disappeared on me. All right. North Dakota at Iowa State. Who you got?
Ooh, give me North Dakota.
You going to take North Dakota on this one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Iowa State on this one. Ohio at Syracuse on the ACC Network. Who you got?
Give me the Cuse, the Orangeman.
I'm going to take the Cuse on that one, too. Kennesaw State at UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio.
Awesome. Kennesaw.
Kennesaw. This is their first. That's their first time playing in Division I school football. I'm taking UTSA on this one. Merrimack at Air Force at 3:30 on CBS Sports Network. Merrimack. I don't even know nothing about this Merrimack team.
Neither do I. Give me Air Force.
I'm taking Air Force on that one. Miami, Ohio at Northwestern, who's playing in a high school-looking makeshift stadium until they get the new stadium redone at 3:30 on the Big Ten Network.
Why the stadium not done?
They started late because of the bad weather.
Oh, okay. We're going to use that. All right. Give me Northwestern.
Taking Northwestern on that one also. Western Illinois against Northern Illinois, 3:30 on ESPN Plus. Who you got?
Northern Illinois. That's Tony Romo's school. Northern Illinois.
Yep, taking that one too. Boise State at Georgia Southern. Who you got? At 4 o'clock on ESPNU.
Give me Georgia Southern.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Georgia. I'm gonna take Boise State on this one. I'm gonna go outside the rim on that one. All right, my friend. We're going to talk about this one real quick here. Old Dominion at South Carolina, 4:15 p.m. on the SEC Network. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Carolina, South Carolina. They call themselves the real Carolinas, but North Carolina would know the fact that North Carolina is the real North Carolina.
Gamecocks?
Nah, the Gamecocks ain't that. But they're playing in the dirty stadium in Columbia, South Carolina, where you ain't got no parking. Make sure you don't park where the police will tow your car away. As soon as I got my target, that just stadium was ruthless, man. Parking is atrocious there. I don't know which one's worse. You got to have a police escort going into Old Dominion, or you got to play in a stadium that ain't got no parking hardly. I don't know which one's worse on that one, my friend. But how do you see the Monarchs against the Gamecocks there today? What is your take on South Carolina football team this year?
I mean, I've always been admired South Carolina style football. I mean, since the days of Lou Holtz, I've always admired that program, and the players they put on the Sunday platform has been really impressive to me. But they problems sometimes on Saturdays get a little confusing. Sometimes I think the adrenaline, testosterone buildup gets a little carried away amongst teammates and coaching staff over there. If they can level that out, I like South Carolina in this matchup. And the way you talked about Old Dominion over the years gets funnier and funnier and funnier.
Hey, you gotta have a Secret Service going there a week before, scout it out. Like the president's coming to town, scout that area out, man, because you get taken out real quick. I know if they were located in Portsmouth, right by the Naval Hospital there.
Uh-huh.
You better have a police escort to the Naval Hospital over there on that side of town too. So I mean, you know what's so funny about the whole deal is for that whole area?
What's
the
that?
McDonald's that's outside the gate of the Naval Hospital is off limits to the military.
Nothing in the world should be off limits to the military.
Oh, that McDonald's is because a lot of people get killed and shot there, so they made it off limits.
And when did fast food become so dangerous to go get it?
I don't know. Talk to people in Virginia, man. If you go to McDonald's and get killed, man, they must be fighting. They must be killing over that Big Mac, man. They must have a killer Big Mac there.
It's like 5 restaurants I won't go to after 7 o'clock. Not going.
If you look at this right here, too, South Carolina offensive line against Old Dominion linebacker Jason Henderson. The Gamecock struggled on the line due to injuries and poor play in his 5-7 season last year. Henderson, who leads the country in tackles the past 2 years, will surely expose any mistakes in trying to rattle the Gamecocks, who have several new starters among their skilled position on the offense. So the offensive line is going to be a big factor here today. Jason Henderson, who has been a beast for Old Dominion, who has led the nation in tackles. How do they key on him? Do they try to double team him and leave somebody else, or are they going to have him singled up and try hopefully the best to keep him out of the backfield?
I'm going to see what you can do with him before I call the double team. I don't like the double team matchup real early in a game anymore. I used to like that, but not anymore. Now, let me see. Coach, let me show you. I've been watching game film. You know what I can do in practice. I've shown you. Let's put the real test of nature right now. That's the double team. Use it when it's needed, like in the TCU game. You can't have one player getting 17 catches and then in a final possession, you know he's gonna get double teamed. Now that's when it needs to happen. But you're gonna do it at the beginning of the game? No, sir. No. I'm not a big fan of that type of stuff.
Yeah, that too is a little bit of two. But Old Dominion wide receiver Isaiah Page leads the Monarch last season with 43 catches, 445 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Page will need to have a big game for Old Dominion to succeed. But South Carolina quarterback Lenora Sellers is a sophomore who played late games behind the starter curtain, and New Orleans Saints passer Spencer Rattler. Sellers is 6'3", earns a job coming out of spring held on to the position despite push from ex-Auburn starting quarterback Robbie Ashford. So with the South Carolina's quarterback, you've seen a debut now of Lenora Sellers, who played last year behind Rattler, but only played a few games. Inexperienced, but then you got ex-Auburn starter coming in, Robbie Ashford, who played pretty good for Auburn in certain games too. So how do you see that quarterback situation working out for South Carolina in today's ballgame?
I think it works out. I think they got the man they want to go into the system. Well, I speak about this all the time in volumes here, man. When you get a quarterback that can fit into your system already, boom, it makes the job that much easier. It's become that challenging coaching point when you get somebody and you only got 6 weeks to put this thing together. That's the challenging point right there, and you have nowhere left to turn. And now you're coaching with your hands crossed like this the whole damn game because you're at a limited spot right here. And we're wondering why they're running the ball so much. Well, all these 5-yard passes because I couldn't get through to him on the footwork it take to do that 5-7 step drop. He can't. His timing is off, so that's why we see things like that happen. But I feel with South Carolina is that they got the man that they want to go into that scheme and that game plan that they have set up for probably the first 4 games of the season.
Yeah, if I look at that too. So who you got in this ball game? Do you take South Carolina or you take Old Dominion?
Give them Gamecocks, South Carolina. Gamecocks.
I'm gonna take the Gamecocks with you on this one too. So when we come back, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we got over a few more games to call. So we're gonna do some more rapid fire, and then we'll break down some more games. Stay with us on the All Sports All Plays Network, on the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. I'm Ray. That's Straight. We'll be right back after these important messages.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.